I was staying at a mid-range hotel in Salt Lake City, nothing fancy, just a clean room to crash in for a 2-night work trip. I'd arrived late, around 11 p.m. After a long flight and a delayed Uber, by the time I checked in, I was barely functioning. The woman at the front desk handed me my keycard and casually mentioned, "You're on the 6th floor, should be nice and quiet. You're the only one up there tonight." I remember that detail vividly because it actually sounded great at the time. No neighbors, no loud TVs through the walls, no kids running down the halls. Just silence. I got to my room 624. It was pretty standard: queen bed, desk, flat screen TV, blackout curtains, and that typical stale hotel scent somewhere between bleach and old carpet. I barely took off my shoes before I passed out. I don't know how long I'd been asleep when the hotel phone rang, but I remember jolting upright in pitch darkness, heart racing. The red digits on the bedside clock glowed 3:07 a.m. I picked up the receiver, still half asleep. "Hello, Mr. Jensen?" It was the front desk clerk's voice. Calm, polite, but clearly unsure. "Yeah?" I mumbled, wiping the sleep from my eyes. "We just received a noise complaint. Someone reported screaming coming from your room." I froze. "Screaming?" "Yes, sir." "Are you all right?" I swung my legs off the bed, glancing around the room. Everything was still, the TV was off, curtains shut. I've been asleep. I wasn't screaming. "Are you sure it was my room?" There was a pause. Then, "You're the only guest on that floor tonight." I didn't know what to say. I felt a tight knot forming in my stomach. "Maybe someone's messing with you," I offered weakly. "Or maybe it was from outside the building." Another pause. The call came from inside the hotel. I didn't sleep after that. I turned the lights on, double-checked the door lock, even slid the desk chair in front of the handle like some paranoid idiot. I turned the TV on for background noise and sat there for maybe an hour before I started to calm down. Eventually, I laid back down, telling myself it was just a fluke. Someone had probably heard a sound from a different floor and assumed it was mine. Or maybe the front desk had made a mistake. Either way, I was fine. At least that's what I told myself until I heard footsteps outside my door. Soft, bare, slow. Not the quick, careless steps of a guest going to their room. These were deliberate. Like someone was trying not to be heard. I held my breath. The footsteps stopped right in front of my door. There was no knock, just silence. I sat up, grabbed the TV remote, and muted the volume. The quiet was deafening. I leaned forward, listening so hard my ears ached. Then the handle turned. Not fast, a gentle test. As if whoever was out there didn't want to wake me, just wanted to see if it was locked. Click, 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 I whispered, "No, no, no," to myself as I stared at the door, and then nothing. No more footsteps, no sound of retreating. Just silence. I waited for what felt like hours, though it was probably 5 minutes. I finally worked up the courage to tiptoe to the door and peek through the peephole. The hallway was empty. I didn't go back to sleep. I kept every light on, sat in the corner by the door with my shoes on, and waited for morning. When the sun finally rose and the lobby opened, I went straight down to the front desk, eyes bloodshot, nerves fried. A different guy was working now. I asked if there was anyone else on the 6th floor. He looked it up. "Nope, just you, sir." I asked about the noise complaint. He blinked. "I don't see any notes about that." I told him everything, the phone call, the footsteps, the handle turning. He looked uncomfortable. Then he said something I'll never forget. "You're not the first guest to report strange things on that floor. We've had a few similar stories over the years. That's why we don't usually book that level unless we read close to full." I asked him what kind of stories. He hesitated, then leaned in slightly, screaming. People hearing knocks at odd hours. Phones ringing without being connected. Some say they see someone walking the hall at night. always barefoot. I checked out early. Haven has stayed in a hotel since without a heavy towel wrapped around the door handle and my phone on silent. Because now, whenever I see 3:07 on a clock, I feel like something's just outside my door, waiting,